Freedom! All across Europe, governments have been lifting lockdown measures as hospitalization and infection rates of Covid-19 have either slowed or declined. I'll be focusing on Belgium as they've published recently their lockdown exit plan in the form of this. The thing is though, the Belgian measures have actually drawn some criticism for its perceived focus on the economy. The measures exist of being allowed to go to work and visit shops to mitigate the impact on the economy and prevents a economic depression as far as possible. In conversations with business leaders, economists, politicians, and scientists, it has become clear that the impact of the lockdown on the economy is of grave concern to the people in government. The conservative politicians famously saying that the cure cannot be worse than the disease at this point. There is a sense of anxiety about what the economy will look like afterwards and how this will affect our GDP growth over the years to come. Of course, also in the US, there have been commentaries on television stations with people saying that they would prefer to sacrifice themselves over ruining the future of our children and grandchildren.
No one reached out to me and said, as a senior citizen, are you willing to take a chance on your survival in exchange for keeping the America that all America loves for your children and grandchildren? And if that's the exchange, I'm all in.
Obviously, aside from my criticism of the whole paradigm of children and grandchildren in the context of our country's economy. Now, the thing is, all of this does raise an existential question. Why are we doing all of this? And I mean it in the broadest sense of the word. Why are we doing this? What is the point of an economy? What is the point of, non-essential industries? What is the point of productivity? Does the economy, does work itself create meaning? Ultimately, we humans derive meaning from other people around us, other humans around us. The universe itself knows no meaning. It has no end, it has no goal. To be the last person on Earth, to imagine being the last person on Earth, is to instinctively realize that there would be no point in existing. The moment you add another human being though, all of a sudden meaning appears, meaning arises. What that is exactly depends on the person, depends on the culture. One thing is for sure though, our ancestors. The reason our ancestors moved from hunting and gathering to farming is because in particular situations, it allowed for them, their kin, and friends to better be able to survive. Why else would you engage in backbreaking and an illness-rich way of life? While farming led us to larger, more complex forms of cooperation, the reasons have always been pretty consistent. Survival for us, survival for our kin, survival for our friends. And from the very beginning, not just survival either, but also living, enjoying life, enjoying the connections that we all share, enjoying the meaning that we create with each other and in dialogue with the world around us. We still operate by these principles today, of course, but through the successes of our ancestors, we are further removed from mere survival. And for the privileged among us, surrounded by generations of people for whom life has just been about living, not about surviving, it's understandably easy to lose touch of that fact, to lose touch with that reason for being. And that's okay. There is a wisdom that people gain in their twilight years. On their deathbed, people rarely regret not having worked more or not having earned more money. People who've had brushes with death, or indeed deliberately wanted to die, like myself, are not concerned with anxiety about time being spent productively, getting rich, or dying trying. It is somewhat saddening to see that there are so many people who are stressed and anxious at the fact of having to slow down, who are willing to sacrifice their fellow citizens for the economy, at the prospect of having no growth, at the fact of not being able to buy plane tickets to faraway destinations this year. Thing is, if those are your concerns, you probably live a dignified life. And to you, I say, that's fine. It's fine. You're gonna be alright. You will be able to do all those things again at some point in due time, be it next year or the year after that. The most important thing now is that as many people as possible hold on to their lives. Ask those whose friends or relatives have died in the past few months, of reasons both related to the coronavirus or not. Is there dignity in dying alone? Is there dignity in saying farewell to your loved ones via live stream? Is there dignity in not being able to attend a friend's funeral? Full disclosure, I do not believe that every kind of life is worth living. Economies must provide for lives of dignity. I subscribe to the idea that life for the sake of life is not worth living. An economy for the sake of an economy is not worth having. People on their deathbeds who have been near death have answered for themselves a question that eludes many of us who live healthily and comfortably. Economy, money, or health? It's not either or. An economy for the sake of a dignified life is economics worth living for.